Hi, my name is Alex. I'll be presenting alongside Era, Max, Lucas, and Mustafa, and our final project is on Airbnb. So, a little bit how the company started. It was founded by Brian Chesky, Nathan Blitzerzik, and Joe Gebbia in 2007. At this time, Brian and Nathan had a few guests stay at their house, and they actually ended up sleeping on the floor in their living room on blow up mattresses, and this is when it sparked their idea. A year later, in 2008, is when they launched the website where they had just two bookings. A few months after that, it was perfectly in time with the National Democratic Convention, and then at this time, they had about 80 guests. A year later, in 2009, they changed the name from Air Bed and Breakfast to Airbnb, and in 2010, they launched the app. Now, as we know it, they have over 8 million listings, they operate in over 220 countries, and have over 5 million hosts. Doing an external analysis on the hospitality industry, we'll look at Porter's five forces, starting with the rivalry amongst competitors. So, first of all, this industry is very saturated. That means it's very highly competitive, and consumers have many choices. So, when we look at the bargaining power of buyers, because like I said, the consumers have many choices, they do hold lots of power. When looking at different competitors and where they want to spend their money, they are price sensitive, but they also do factor important things to them, such as price, quality, and safety. The bargaining power of suppliers for this industry is quite low because of the fact that most of the companies and competitors are things like hotels, travel agencies. So for things like hotels, they don't rely on suppliers at all. But Airbnb and Vrbo, who are competitors, they kind of have a unique situation. So the suppliers would be deemed the hosts, but because there's so many hosts, they don't have a full-on dependency on just one supplier. But in order to run their business, and since they use strategic outsourcing, they do need to leverage these multiple numbers of suppliers. The threat of new entrants, it is relatively low in the fact that it's a low startup cost. So for hotels in the physical building, this will be a little bit higher. But for companies like Airbnb that use strategic outsourcing, it is low startup costs. Also with Airbnb and their technology that Vrbo also uses, it's a hard technology to replicate. So because of the fact that they use innovation and lots of data, it is hard for startup companies to kind of recreate this. There's also heavy regulations in the hospitality industry that have to do with safety, quality, amongst other things. And then again, for the threat of substitution, so there actually is many alternatives. There's many hotels, there's many booking agencies, there's many accommodations that come to lodging. For Airbnb, there is also Vrbo, which is a company that works and acts pretty much similar to Airbnb. But the thing that Airbnb has that would be hard for other companies is the brand recognition. So when a consumer tries to substitute Airbnb with another company, their only option would pretty much be Vrbo, or they would go the route of hotels or other accommodations within that sense.
Shifting gears from an external analysis, we're now going to look inward and do an internal analysis. So the first, we're going to use the VRIO framework. So first, looking at the value that they provide to their customers, they can offer a low cost and more unique experience when compared to a traditional hotel. This gives customers more bang for their buck. And then when you look at the value that they provide to the homeowners, they offer them the opportunity to earn extra money on their vacant property. A good example would be if you were to go on a vacation and you knew you were going to be away from your property, you could list on Airbnb and earn supplemental income while you're away. Looking at the rarity of their product, so they have immense support due to their brand recognition. This was started due to their word of mouth popularity back when they were first getting going. A lot of their new customers and growth in the early stages came from word of mouth, and over the years, this has built strong brand loyalty and trust. And this is important when looking at the imitatability, as there is a high degree of copycats and competition within the industry with companies such as Vrbo and Booking.com. However, they haven't been able to imitate the strong brand loyalty that Airbnb has. And a good example of how competitive this industry is the same property can be listed on Airbnb and on Vrbo. And looking how they're organized to take advantage of this market. So they can expand quite quickly at minimal cost due to low capital expenditure from not owning the properties. And as well, they are set up in a divisional structure. So this means that they are able to adapt and change due to different regional needs. So putting all this together, you get their competitive advantage of brand loyalty and trust in their products that provide value for everyone involved. Moving now on to the value chain analysis. First, looking at the primary activities. When looking at Airbnb's operations, they are very efficient. They require minimal costs to expand into new markets because of the no capital investment, as previously mentioned. And they provide a mass consumption product that can provide something for everyone. Their marketing activities is always pushing a unique experience. This approach to marketing pairs well with the mass consumption of operations, as they know they can offer each customer a unique one-of-one experience and can do so at a large scale. Now for their support activities, Airbnb's research and development efforts go towards building a more customized user experience. Feedback is always asked from both guests and hosts. Airbnb can use the savings from the reduced capital expenditure and focus it on the software to ensure that the feedback is implemented. In addition to the feedback, Airbnb is leveraging the data that is being collected from their website from tools such as AI. This provides insights into the user experience and allows Airbnb to implement data-driven solutions.
Airbnb's business strategy. Airbnb has revolutionized the hospitality industry with its innovative business strategies focusing on differentiation and cost leadership. On the differentiation side, Airbnb offers unique and diverse stays, from luxury villas and mountaintop cottages to treehouses and earth homes. Unlike traditional hotels that often lack a cultural identity, Airbnb allows travelers to immerse themselves in authentic experiences by utilizing a sharing economy model. On the cost leadership side, Airbnb's low asset business model is key to its success. By not owning the properties, the company saves significantly on liabilities and focuses on scalability. Airbnb partners with hosts who list their properties, earning commissions and fees from both hosts and guests. This approach not only keeps costs down, but it also appeals to everyday travelers and backpackers seeking affordable options. Now, moving on to their functional strategy. Airbnb's functional strategies are central to its success and directly contribute to its business strategies of cost leadership and differentiation. Unlike traditional hotels, as previously mentioned, Airbnb achieves superior efficiency by expanding its portfolio of rentals at a minimal cost. This basically means that Airbnb doesn't invest in owning properties. Instead, it ensures high quality service by host screening, guest reviews, and incentives like the Superhost program attributed to their hosts. And by maintaining quality without significant capital investment, Airbnb aligns perfectly with its cost leadership strategy. Additionally, Airbnb combines total quality management and Six Sigma methodologies to continuously improve its operations. Using guest feedback, data driven insights, and host performance metrics, Airbnb ensures its services are optimized to meet customer expectations. Airbnb also heavily invests in technology and innovation, including AI and big data, which enhance customer responsiveness and affordability. By perfecting its platform, simplifying the booking process, and offering features like flexible cancellation policies, Airbnb improves customer satisfaction. Through these functional strategies, Airbnb balances affordability with uniqueness, allowing it to lead in cost efficiency while delivering differentiated, high quality travel experiences that set it apart from other conventional hospitality leaders.
So, Airbnb's primary corporate strategy is strategic outsourcing, but not in the traditional sense. So, rather than outsourcing a few aspects of the company's value chain, it relies essentially entirely on its host to secure its inventory, otherwise known as the properties available for rent. So, by allowing the physical aspect of hospitality to be managed by the hosts, Airbnb is able to focus its resources on refining user experiences, advancing technology, and so on. And while they serve travelers and experience goers alike, they also look out for their hosts with the understanding that they're the very lifeblood of its operations. So, Airbnb has future goals to introduce a host services marketplace that would outsource a variety of free and paid services such as cleaning, co hosting, and guest experience enhancements all under one roof to streamline property management even more. Strategic outsourcing has allowed Airbnb to focus on its core competencies such as innovation and technology, prioritize cost efficiency, and enhance its differentiation. A recent example of innovation was the introduction of flexible features developed to improve the user experience by guiding them through the steps of their travel journey and to increase the number of overall bookings. The flexible destination filter helps those looking to explore new places to travel who may not have any specific destination in mind, and the flexible dates filter can help users plan when they may want to travel based on price and availability. And then flexible matches are then provided given the inputted filters. And these features not only benefit travelers who want to view a wide range of listings, but it also benefits hosts whose listings may not have appeared under more specific search filters. Airbnb is also cost efficient by earning commission on each booking and on each Airbnb experience. They don't build, own, or manage any property, so no real estate investment or overhead costs need to be accounted for. And they also encourage hosts to offer discounts for week or month-long rentals, which is actually more lucrative for hosts and in turn Airbnb. The name Airbnb has become synonymous with travel accommodation due to its strong recognition, its brand recognition. It's kind of the first thing everyone thinks about, and with good reason. It offers unmatched personalization, from deciding whether you want to stay in an A-framed house or if you want to tour a vineyard. And it has even recently added Airbnb icons to the mix, which we'll discuss later. And this strong brand recognition and market dominance has even led to free marketing by third parties like the Haze Club, which is a small team that curates lists of Airbnbs around the world that you can purchase in packages to facilitate your travel booking experience. And this is an example of what their offerings look like on their website. And they're also active on social media, which is how I first discovered them, with the left showing their similar page layout to the official Airbnb Instagram page, and the right showing their TikTok account promoting different listings. And this is just an example of how differentiated Airbnb has become and how rich the demand for the platform is, to the point that unaffiliated third parties will market for them as a whole separate business. Airbnb has also explored diversification. While we know that it uses AI technology to gather consumer insights and market trends, its recent acquisition of Game Planner AI, a tool designed to enhance strategic planning, will only further complement its operations. The Icons experience is perhaps Airbnb's most extreme diversification, as it actually required them to build properties from scratch or acquire the rights to existing properties. And it's a contest-based campaign that selects winners to experience the extraordinary by lodging in homes such as the Disney Pixar Up House, or the Musée d'Orsay in Paris for a night at the museum, or Barbie's Dream House in Malibu. And while this branches out from the traditional business model for Airbnb, its CEO believes that it's a pretty promising endeavor.
A little more internally into their organizational structure, as well as strategy implementation, and some aspects to the Galbraith Star model. So first up, in their organizational structure, Airbnb uses a mix of organizational styles to stay flexible and innovative. Airbnb's organizational structure is based on a matrix structure, meaning employees work across multiple departments and on cross-functional teams. However, in departments like engineering or IT, Airbnb also applies holacracy principles. Holacracy gives teams more freedom to make decisions, manage themselves, and chase new ideas, all while staying in line with the company's goals. For example, technical teams often work independently on different projects, taking advantage of a collaborative environment that encourages quick thinking and fresh ideas. This approach helps Airbnb scale fast, keep innovative, and expand beyond just home rentals into things like travel experiences and other services. When it comes to strategy implementation, Airbnb puts its strategies into action using a decentralized decision-making model and strategic resource allocation. What they do is divide product management into 3 sections: core initiatives for improving existing products, new initiatives for growth opportunities, and platform initiatives focused on infrastructure upgrades. By splitting things up this way, each team can focus on clear goals, use resources efficiently, and avoid wasting time on duplicate efforts. When it comes to making decisions, Airbnb combines both top-down and team-level approaches. For big projects, decisions might require input from executives or even the CEO. But for smaller projects, teams and their project managers have the autonomy to make calls on their own. For instance, a project manager might oversee team decisions, but escalate critical ones to a VP if needed. An example of this team-level approach is how Airbnb's design team functions. The entire design team meets once a week for short stand-up updates to get a pulse on what's happening across the various teams. Production designers create toolkits and workflows that enable experienced designers and engineers to move faster and better together. That was from an interview done with a project manager on the design team at Airbnb. Now, looking into aspects of the STAR model, we already looked at strategy, implementation, and organizational culture. So we're going to be looking at people and culture, incentive systems and rewards, monitoring and measurement, and governance. So first up with people and culture, Airbnb invests in building an innovative culture while providing high-quality customer service. They achieve this by building a work environment where creativity and collaboration are the forefront of importance. Recruitment processes focus on selecting people that align with Airbnb's missions and values to ensure cultural fit. Once on board, employees are also offered multiple opportunities for growth through training programs and cross-functional projects that help hone their skills and trigger new ideas. The result is that it keeps employees happy, not only keeping up employee retention, but also helping Airbnb execute the best possible experiences for its customers. Now looking into incentive systems and rewards. The reward system at Airbnb is focused on aligning with strategic goals by keeping employees happy and engaged. Airbnb offers employees unique, non-monetary/monetary incentives, such as quarterly travel credits that allow employees to try out Airbnb's services personally. What this does is this helps the employee understand the product firsthand and helps build a connection between employee and product. There's also an annual educational stipend and a quarterly allowance that supports the live and work anywhere policy, letting employees have the flexibility to learn and grow from anywhere. All this is intended to keep employees motivated, taking care of their well-being, and maintaining a balance between work and life. Now, when it comes to monitoring and measurement, Airbnb uniquely performs performance in order to stay on track and achieve its objectives. Airbnb has integrated an AI-driven performance appraisal strategy that uses AI analytics. Airbnb leverages AI algorithms to analyze performance appraisal data and provide personalized recommendations for employee development, exemplifying future trends in performance management. This has made it so when the company conducts performance evaluations, they're the most accurate and objectifiable as possible. This demonstrates Airbnb's continuous efforts to foster an innovative and inclusive working culture to further drive growth. Lastly, when we look at governance, Airbnb's governance framework is designed to uphold accountability, transparency, and ethical decision-making. The board of directors comprises individuals with diverse backgrounds and expertise, providing robust oversight of the company's operations and strategic direction. Regular board meetings are established to address specific areas such as audit, risk management, and corporate responsibility. Furthermore, to ensure accountability, Airbnb is integrated an audit committee, compensation committee, and nominating and corporate governance committee. What this does is this ensures the board is acting in line. This structure ensures that executive leadership is held accountable and that decisions that are made are in the best interest of the stakeholders, maintaining trust and integrity within the organization. Now, moving on to recommendations, we've drafted up some recommendations to kind of push Airbnb's growth. So in 2023, Airbnb identified Germany, Brazil, and Korea as countries in which to explore market expansion. What Airbnb could do is establish strategic partnerships with local tour guides, event planners, and municipal governments in major cities that could connect Airbnb travelers to iconic events such as the Oktoberfest in Munich, the Carnival in Rio de Janeiro, and the Seoul Lantern Festival in South Korea. With an increasing demand for sustainability, especially among younger generations with increasing purchase power, eco-conscious initiatives are going to be crucial to establish trust with customers. As such, prioritizing hosts with eco-friendly properties, promoting ecotourism experiences that facilitate conservation efforts, and offering discounts on eco-friendly stays subsidized by Airbnb is a step in the right direction. Overall, with an innovative business model and an assertive differential approach and effective cost leadership strategy, Airbnb has carved out a leadership position for itself in the global hospitality industry. Based on its platform-based approach that links host and guests, Airbnb keeps overheads at a minimum while facilitating a variety of unique and personalized travel experiences. In particular, this attention to technological innovation, responsiveness to customer needs, and prudent outsourcing strategy has positioned it at an advantage in a fast-paced and highly competitive marketplace. The future success of Airbnb will depend on how it continues its commitment to innovation, sustainability, and broadening of markets as emerging challenges move forward and long-term growth in the changing hospitality landscape continues. Thank you, and this has been our presentation on Airbnb.